Hey teens, Mix Christy here with another amazing book review. So it's the beginning of May, and which means that May is also the Asian Pacific Heritage Month, which means that we are celebrating all the Asian and Pacific Island cultures. So for the entire month of May, I will be reading books that are written by Asian Pacific authors and also have Asian Pacific characters in them. So to kick this amazing month off, I will be telling you guys about the Downstairs Girl. I finally found it. We do have it on e-audio and ebook. So just a just a quick description of the Downstairs Girl. So the Downstairs Girl follows Joe, who is who's working with a very rich man's daughter as her handmaid. And it's really rough because she and her and the person that she's currently living with, who she affectionately calls father, are pretty much the only Chinese people in their entire town that they're living in. And this also takes place in like 1880, and that is important because um, that's 1880 was a great year, let me tell you, in the United States. It really wasn't. They are currently, so Joe and her father are currently living underneath the newspaper house. And by underneath, I mean it was during the slavery when slaves were trying to escape, and they created like little safe houses underneath houses. So they're essentially living underneath there, unknown unknown to the people living above them. And they just so happen to be living underneath the newspaper factory in the newspaper house. And because of that, when Joe learned that their newspaper might be going down, she's afraid that they would also lose the house, which means that she and her father would also lose their place. So, in order to help them, she decides to take on uh, the my God, I don't know, the pen name, Miss Sweetie, where she kind of writes a little bit of controversial articles for the newspaper. And what I mean by controversial, meaning really about race and gender and sexuality and things like that. And it's amazing. All the characters are really relatable. A good portion of them were of the minority at the time. There is Latinx, there's African American, and then of course the classic whites. But it was a really good book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I liked Joe's character. She's very witty, and I don't know, I loved it. And it especially talked about, so during this time it was also oh my god, women's rights. So it was pretty much white women who specifically wanted to vote, but it was only white women who wanted to vote. They totally forgot about the women of color. And when women of color tried to help out, they're like, but your men can already do it, so why should you? Which kind of defeats the entire purpose of women's rights. It's amazing to read because you don't really read about that in history, and reading something like this, it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a good historical fiction book, and I thought it would be the perfect start of the Asian and Pacific Heritage Month. Um, so yeah, I would recommend The Downstairs Girl. I thought it was a good read. I think I finished it in 3 days. So please check that out. I will put a link in the description below for the ebook and the e-audiobook. And of course, I'm always open to suggestions about what other books that I should read. I definitely have two more on my list for Asian Pacific Heritage Month. I'm pretty much going off of the book awards that get awarded here in this month. I will also throw that website in the link description below if you want to read more about it and maybe check out what other books they have on there. So, yeah, that's it for this book review. Please give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe to our Frankfurt Public Library YouTube channel, and Make sure you hit the little bell that's right next to subscribe to get notifications on when our next video is up. Please also make sure to check out our Facebook page where you get even more news about the Frankfurt Public Library. And that's all I have for this video. So I will see you all in the next chapter. Bye!